everyone, welcome to my project that I have created for the August edition of the Stampin' Hop Blog Hop. Thank you to everyone who's following the blog hop today. It's always lots of fun to create something new, and today we've got a colour challenge which is 3 colours that I would never have thought to put together. We have Blueberry Bushel, Granny Apple Green, Lovely Lipstick with a splash of silver to tempt you. So everyone has made some beautiful projects, and I've chosen to make a mini gift box, and I'm going to show you how to make that in a minute, and a matching card. So you can see I've used Blueberry Bushel, Garden Green, Lovely Lipstick, and then we've got some silver embossing there. The light can pick that up there. Okay, I've used the Everything Amazing stamp set. This is in the new annual catalogue, and it's a really nice set. It's great for making simple cards that are really quick. You can use any colour, and they're great for mail cards, so it gets my vote. It's a great one for coffee and card as well, for demonstrators that I know get involved in coffee and card, and I'm looking forward to using that in the next few weeks. Right, let's get cracking. So we're going to start by creating our box, and we're going to need our trimmer, and we need to cut a piece of A4 Whisper White. We're going to cut it down, so it already measures 8 1/4 across, inches that is. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut it so that it is 8 1/4 by 7 inches long. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our Simply Scored, which is our lovely scoring tool, and we're going to score. So we're going to start on the long side. No, we're not. We're going to start on the short side, and we are going to score at 2 inches all the way down, and then we're going to score at 5 inches all the way round. So the top bit is 2 inches long, this bit is 2 inches long, and then this bit in the middle is 3. Then we're going to turn, and we're not going to score all the way down. We're just going to score from the top to that first score line, and we're going to score at 2, 4, 6, and then the 8 inch we're actually going to score all the way to the bottom, and that creates our tab that we're going to secure our box with. So we've scored this at 1/4, so we're going to score now at 2 1/4, and what this does is it matches up the top and the bottom score line. Then we're going to score at 4 1/4 and at 6 1/4. So then that's it for our scoreboard done, but we need to keep hold of our score tool, and we are going to score some diagonal lines with our cardstock. So I've just got a foam mat and I've got a ruler. So what we're going to do is we're going to score from this score, where these 2 score lines meet, to this one down here, and repeat all the way across. So we're matching up the score lines right diagonally. Now, with the box that I actually created, I did my stamping first, but you do lose your score line. So this is why, for the purpose of this video, I am scoring before I stamp, so that we can clearly see those lovely score lines. Okay, so you can see we're creating some crosses. Okay, so that is the basis of our box. So we can now put our score mat to one side, and this is where we need a bone folder. But before we do that, we're going to do our stamping. So let's have a bit of Blueberry Bushel, let's have a bit of Granny Apple Green, and a bit of Lovely Lipstick. And then to start with, I find it easier to stamp the biggest image first. And you'll see from the design of my box, I've not kept the pattern all one way. I've kept turning so that the pattern, there is no up and there is no down. Okay, so we've done the balloons in the Lovely Lipstick. We're going to go in next with the heart in the blueberry bushel. And again, just keep turning. You can add less, you can add more, it's entirely up to you. And then lastly, we're going to go in with our Granny Apple Green and this lovely party hat. We're just filling in the gaps now. This is a really lovely way to make your own DSP. You can use it for your cards, you can use it for whatever you're making really. Just do a few more down here, and then I've got a bit of a gap up there, so I'm just going to go in with another, no, I'm going to go in with a balloon actually. And then over here, I'm going to go here with a heart. Any more gaps? What do we think? Just in another gap that I can put a balloon in. Lovely. So that is my stamping all done. Let's close these ink pads before I put my hand on my project in it. Okay, and now we can go in with our folding. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold this score line here and this score line here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to fold on our diagonals. Just bending it to start with, and then we'll do some cutting. Okay. So now we're going to cut our tab that we're going to secure our box with. So we're just going to cut that in at an indent. And then the trick with this box is, because it's not entirely square, we're going to cut each one of these tabs here, but just slightly nipping some of it out. And we're going to do that for each one of these. So lovely and sunny this evening. It's just gone 6:15 UK time here in the evening, and it's beautiful. My husband's just taken the dog and the children out for a nice summer stroll. Oh, I've got this end one here. Don't forget your end piece as well, or it will look a bit funny. And just keep going until they're all done. And not forgetting to nip out end piece right here. So that then is the basis of our box. That is our finished product. So now that we've cut everything out, I'm just going to burnish all my score lines to make sure that they are nice and crisp. The trick with this box as well is to make sure your score lines are all really nicely presented. You'll get more definition on when you put the box together, which is always nice. This box looks great in DSP. What I found with the DSP is that the DSP is slightly thinner than the cardstock, so it feels a little bit flimsy, but that's why I went for the Whisper White. So once we're happy that all our score lines are nice and crisp, we can then assemble our box together. Now, the reason that I did my stamping all different directions is because there is no up and there is no down on this box. It can be any way. Okay, so we're going to add some tear tape to our tab here, and we're going to make sure that we add that to the side that has the stamping on, because this is the side that is going to tuck inside the box, and this is why we don't see any extra bits that we don't need to see. Okay, so then the best way to do this is to fold that one over and then bring that edge to meet this one, and then fold your flaps back round. So there we have our box starting to come together. Now these particular, so we've got the back, where's the back? This bit here is where it meets, so this is our back. So what we want to make sure is that bit isn't the bit that's at the front. So how we fold our flaps in as such is we're going to fold, this is the front, so we're going to fold that one, no we're not, we're going to do, hang on, this one, and then that one and that one, so that when we have the back we can't see any of the bits that we've cut along the bottom. It just makes things look really, really neat. So then we can take some tear tape again, and I'm going to add a strip like so, and a strip like so. Now this box is actually quite fiddly to put together, so bear with me. And I've added this the wrong way. It's funny, you make silly mistakes when you're filming, or I do anyway. It will come off. There we go. So now we fold that one down, and then what I tend to do is I tend to rest that one there on that fold and then bring that one over, turn it over, and then use a blend just to make sure that's secured. Okay, and then we repeat at the top. But what we're going to do with the top is we're not actually going to secure the top one, because otherwise when you send your box, the person that you're sending it to won't be able to receive it, won't be able to open it without ruining it. Now this is where the ribbon comes in, and I've used the 1 centimetre denim ribbon, which is really, really nice, and it's very handy for using with mail projects. It's really pretty. So technically it's not blueberry bushel, but we'll glaze over that. So then bring these up to meet. Make sure they're roughly equal. Now what we do is I find it easier to tie it first and then we can manipulate it. This is where my bow skills may leave a lot to be desired. I also need my nails doing. They've got a little bit too long. So there we have our bow tied. So that is our box all put together, all folded nicely. You just need to make sure that these diamond sections are pushed in, and then you get that lovely shape on it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create our tag part. So I have used the Starburst punch, and we're going in straight away with some blueberry bushel cardstock, and this is being secured to our box with a stamping dimensional, and that just goes on there like so. And now here comes the silver. So we're going to take a piece of Whisper White, just a scrap piece, and we're going to do some heat embossing. So let's move these pieces out the way. We have our Versamark ink pad, and we need our sentiments, so they are here. So we have Birthday and Friend. I wanted to use all the stamps from the Everything Amazing stamp set. So we're going to stamp Birthday like so. Now I always stamp before I use the punch. Okay. So I've stamped Birthday and now I'm stamping Friend. It's straight-ish. Okay, now we can add our embossing powder. So just take a piece of printing paper, and then this is my silver stamping emboss powder. We'll just add that over the top, tap it off, make sure we're happy with that. Yep, that's a nice coverage of embossing powder, and then we take our heat tool and we're going to set it. Apologies for the noise. I love teaching embossing. It's always such a nice wow moment. It's so effective as well. Okay. So that's our Birthday and Friend, stamped and heat embossed. Now we're going to take our 2-inch circle punch, and all we're going to do now is we're going to cut it out. So that's that bit done. Now using the same piece of scrap Whisper White, we're going to stamp one each of the shapes. That's terrible English. We're going to stamp each one of the shapes. That's better, isn't it? Oh dear, you can tell it's school holidays and I'm not having to use my brain very much. So we've got Granny Apple Green and we've got the lovely lipstick. And then all we do is we fussy cut those out. So take my paper snips. I find it always looks nicer if you leave a little bit of white in your fussy cutting. It's how they would look if they were die cut. And it just makes it a lot easier to cut them out. So there is our heart. Here is our party hat. And here is our balloons. Now one of the reasons you do the white as well is because otherwise you would end up with no balloon tails on these balloons. Well, I wouldn't anyway. So warm in my barn tonight. I hope you've all enjoyed following the blog hop today. It's always a nice one as it really does travel all the way around the world. It captures so many different styles of demonstrators, and usually the demonstrators change from month to month, so you always get someone different. And it's always lots of fun to see what everyone comes up with. I'm still amazed that you can give someone one stamp set or one set of colours and they will come up with so many different projects and styles. It's incredible. This is where it gets tricky. I should have cut these balloon tails first. I always tend to move the paper rather than the scissors. Someone once taught me that. You get a little bit more control. There we are, that's not too shabby, is it? We've done it. And then all we do is we layer these up on our piece of white. We'll stick our balloons like so. Now, what I've done here is I've used a combination of dimensionals and wet glue to stick these on. There's quite a lot of Tombow there. It's a brand new one, and it's always quite, it gets quite excited when you have a brand new Tombow. And then lastly we have our little party hat. And then that gets stuck directly onto there. A little bit of Tombow. And there is our finished gift box. So that's the one I did for the project, and that's the one we've just done today. So really quick, really simple, but really effective. Now we've got our card to make. So we're going to take one of the Whisper White Note cards. These come in a pack of 20. You can either get them in very vanilla or white, and you get 20 envelopes, 20 note cards, and they're really handy if you're crafting. So we're going to go in now, first of all, and we're going to stamp our main image. You can see it better here on the stamp set. So it actually gives you space to put whichever one of these sentiments you want in, or if you've got another stamp set that you want to use, it's quite handy. It fits most of them. What did we do with the Versamark? Put it somewhere. Here we go. So as this is the main image on the card, we're going to stamp this one first to make sure we get that roughly in the middle. Just push it down quite firmly, making sure that you've got a really good coverage of Versamark. Yep, that's quite good. And then we're going to take our copy paper again and add our embossing powder. I try not to get into too much of a mess with embossing powder, but sometimes it doesn't always go to plan. Lovely. Oh, the G could do with a little bit more on it. Perfect. And then what we do is we heat that with our heat tool and watch that turn into that beautiful shimmery silver. Here we go, starting to turn. So pretty. All done. So now we want to take our stamp, smaller stamp again. So we've got friend and we want birthday. We're using Memento for this, and then you line it up between the two lines and snap. There you go, that's not too shabby, is it? And we want wishing you an amazing, here he is. Stand up for this one. Lovely. A little bit wonky, but never mind. So now we're going to go back in with our 3 little images. So we need our blue and our red and our green, and we're going to start with the red. Now for this one I am actually going to keep all the stamping to the same, in the same direction. Oh, and you dipped it in the red. That's dangerous, isn't it? I've done that a few times. And then we're going to finish off with our party hat. Okay, and up there I'm just going to put another heart in there, and then we'll do some balloon tails just like so. So that is our finished card, just like so. So we've got wishing you an amazing birthday, and we've got our birthday friend box, so that's a really nice way. And then the finishing touch on any project for me is always the envelope. So I'm going to show you a little technique that I would use to decorate that envelope, and we'll use our grid paper for that. So we're going to take our envelope, which I put over here. That's a dirty one. Let's get one that's clean. Here we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold our grid paper over. We're going to use the fold of the card, and then we're going to stamp our images. My chair is so squeaky. I think it's actually the chair that my husband sits on when he's out here. And then we'll add another party hat just in there like so. So there we have our decorated envelope, our lovely card, and our box. And we're done. That's it from me. All of those products are available to purchase now from my online shop. There is a link on the details of the video that you're watching. I hope you've enjoyed hopping around with us today or whenever you're watching, and I hope to speak to you soon. Take care. Bye.